Hey, it's Ruthie. I'm reading today from Cara McKenna's Hard Time. And in this scene, the hero of the story is still in prison. And the heroine is a librarian. She's been going to the prison to help the inmates with reading and literacy classes. And in this scene, she's writing a letter for the hero, whose name is Collier, Eric Collier. So he says, "Can you help me write a letter to somebody?" He said it almost primly, humility in his voice. It struck me as odd, considering this man had asked me for help and been offered it without judgment. Then he added in a near mumble, "A personal letter." The request was legit, a common one during resources. I checked the clock. "We can start, at least, but I've only got 10 minutes. He nodded. "You got paper?" I pulled a notebook from my bag, perfect bound, not spiral, thanks to the thrilling array of deadly implements that can apparently be fashioned from 3 feet of steel wire. As he handed me the pencil, our fingertips brushed for the thinnest moment, quick and hot as a static shock. "Alrighty, shoot." "Darling," Collier began, only loud enough for me to hear. His gaze jumped up to pin mine. That's how it should start. "Darling," I wrote. My stomach soured, and even I wasn't deluded enough to pretend I didn't know why. Fuck me, I was penning a love letter to his frigging who knew what, wife, girlfriend, ex, stalkee. Fine. If this didn't get me over my stupid infatuation, nothing would. I eyed his arm, but his sleeve covered the tattoo I'd spotted from the office window. Whose name might be hiding under there? Get a grip. "Go on," I said. "I missed you since your last visit." He watched my hand as he spoke, as his words took shape, drawn by my fingers with an ease he'd likely never know himself. The act felt strangely, intensely intimate. "A few minutes a week with you is almost more cruel than it's worth," he continued. "I miss—" Hang on. I scribbled, catching up. I sensed his posture tighten with annoyance or impatience, and I couldn't blame him. I was a stranger, after all, being asked to transcribe his feelings in a place where emotions were as dangerous to bear as pulse points. "Okay, go on." "I miss you every minute we're apart, and I watch the clock every morning when I think I might be seeing you again." He paused, waiting until my hand did the same. "I miss how you smell. Like spring and grass. There's not much grass here. I miss your face, and the way you smile sometimes. I want to make you smile like that." I ignored my jealousy, that hot snake twisting in my belly as I imagined such things. "Okay. I miss your voice, the way you talk." "I like the way you talk. Where are you from?" The snake slowed, changed direction, coiling low. "I wish I could see you away from here." He put his forearms on the desk, leaning closer, speaking even more quietly. "I wish we could be together in ways I haven't been with a woman in 5 years. Sometimes when I see you, sometimes I can't even listen to what you're saying. All I can do is watch your mouth. I watch your lips, and I think about kissing you when I'm alone at night, though I'm never really alone here. But I imagine I am, alone with just you. I think about your mouth, and about kissing you, and other things." "Other things," my hand echoed. My neck was hot, hot like sunburn. My cheeks stung. My loose clothes bound me. "Sometimes I watch your hands," he went on, watching my hands. "I watch your hands and imagine them on me." I was trembling, and surely he could see it. His words had turned jagged, pencil pinched between my bloodless fingers. I think we better leave it there," I breathed. "We've got 3 more minutes still." "Yes, but this is getting... I'm not sure it's appropriate that I write this sort of letter for you." and I'm not sure it's appropriate how wet it's making me. Not sure at all. Right. Well, I guess that's just about what I wanted to say anyhow. Good. I could have it mailed for you if you have her address. That dark gaze jumped from my hands to my eyes, and I flinched. Too much heat, going too many places. For a moment he just stared, not cold, not mean, just telling. I don't know her address, he said quietly. I shivered. My hands felt icy, my throat tight, my belly warm and heavy and damning. His attention dropped to my hands. Maybe you could hang on to that for me until I can remember. I can leave it with you. I tore the page carefully along the perforation, but he was shaking his head. You hang on to it, he repeated. It's real personal stuff. Man doesn't want just anybody reading those kinds of thoughts. I lowered the page, saw it fluttering in my quaking hand, and closed it in the notebook. Fine. I didn't get to sign it. Oh. He nodded to the pad, raised his eyebrows. I submitted, pushing the page and the pencil across the tabletop. It was my turn to watch his hand as it formed two short, slow, careful words. Then he slid everything back. Thanks. His eyes dropped to my chest, but it was my ID badge he scanned, not my breasts. Annie. He said it low, made more of breath than sound, as if he were telling himself a secret. Ms. Goodhouse, I should have said, but the only correction I managed was Anne. My parents called me Annie, and my aunts and grandparents and a couple of close friends, but that was all. Not strangers. Not this man, whose first name I didn't even know, whose crimes I didn't wish to hear about, whose desires I just traced with shaking fingers. I'll see you next week. And he was gone, long legs striding for the door. This time, he didn't look back.